Enter the arena uncut. You better have your eyes glued to the screen and don't go anywhere, because on the line we have the best MMA analyst on YouTube today, who just made his return, Tommy Razorstein. You have the Don Juan Banks GOAT, greatest of all time, but the greatest of all time, Anderson Silva, now 33-7, a loss to Michael the Count Bisping, 28-7 at UFC Fight Night 84 to O2 Arena in London. Was Anderson Silva robbed? Did he win this fight in the third round when he connected with the knee? There's so much controversy going on. If you're looking at the screen right now, we can't play the video, but Dana White believed that Silva won. John Jones said that Silva would have won if he was more aggressive. But we're going to read this to the fans real quick, Razorstein, and then we're going to get your exclusive opinion and hear what's been going on in your life. London, the end of the third round, courtesy of MMA Junkie, between Michael Bisping and Anderson Silva at UFC Fight Night 84, was about as crazy as it can get. Bisping, 28-7, 18-7, lost his mouthpiece and was worried about what was going on with it. And with referee Herb Dean with the mouthpiece in his hand, Bisping tried to get his attention. But Silva, Anderson Silva, the man who bows, the man who hugs, took advantage and landed a vicious flying knee. And it looked like he landed a knee to the groin too. Dropped Bisping to the canvas with 1 second left in the round. Silva thought the fight was over, but Dean never stopped it. And it took time, a lot of time, for Silva to understand that he needed to come down the top of the fence, because it was round 4 coming up. After 2 more rounds, Bisping took a unanimous decision with a trio of 48-47 scores in London, despite getting dropped by the knee in the third round. The round was controversial, Razorstein and the fans have entered the arena. It was confusing. People were flabbergasted. They couldn't believe what was going on. And it could have been devastating for Bisping, but instead he went off to the biggest win of his career. He finally got a big win. His chin finally held up, blood pouring from his face. UFC Fight Night 84 took place in O2 in London and streamed entirely on UFC Fight Pass. Tommy Razorstein.
What's up, Don? How you doing, man?
It's great to have you back. How's things been in your life?
Things been crazy, dude. Crazy. Going to Gangnam and Pohang and all over the place. Traveling all over Korea. I'm in Incheon now. So I got set, got my own place. Everything's set up. I'm ready to rock and roll, Don. I love this fight.
Great time to come back, man. You picked a great time to come back in controversy in Silva and Bisping.
And he can't take anything away from Michael Bisping in this fight. I'm not a Michael Bisping fan, but, dude, he was a warrior going through that. You know what I mean? He didn't complain at all. He was like trying to signal, hey, I'm trying to get my mouthpiece, and got kneed in the face. After that, he still pressed forward and was angry and aggressive. Now they say, oh, well, Anderson should have won. But you know what? I give the fight to the aggressor. Like this. In baseball, tie goes to the runner. And in fighting, my attitude is this. The tie goes to the aggressor. He was pressing forward. There was a controversial knee. I mean, if that knee wasn't there, he would have won the round. Could have won the round. So that knee can be dismissed. So if you dismiss the knee, you dismiss the knockout and everything. That changes the whole entire fight. If that was, properly reffed. Now, I do like, I usually do like that ref. He's a good guy. But unfortunately, I think that was a mistake. And that should have been completely dismissed. I think he should have been able to get his mouthpiece. And that whole entire thing should be dismissed. And he fought through it. He was a bloody mess at the end. But he fought through it, Don.
Yes.
That was impressive what he did. I can't take anything away from Michael Bisping. He deserved to win.
Razorstein. So we're gonna have we're trying to pull up pictures as we speak, because people have been saying they want to see see it because we got you here right now. Finally, Razorstein, I know you're thinking about making your return, and you return right into chaos. I mean, you've been in the middle of chaos all your life, and when you saw Silva climb on top of that cage, and we thought it was over. Wait, having some tech. You know, these commercials start playing while you're talking, and you can't even get them to stop. Advertisements. Listen to this, Razorstein.
Yeah.
So you got chaos going on in your life, and you finally get everything settled, and then you turn on UFC because you're the best MMA analyst on YouTube in history, and you see all this controversy. What's going through your mind? Do you feel Silva won that fight at that moment? Did you feel it was the referee's fault? Did you think it was Bisping's fault? What did you think Silva was dirty? What was going through your mind? We actually got the pictures up right now of the fight.
All right. I do not like the taunting. I think, that takes away from your ability. I don't like the taunting. I think it's not aggressive. When you're taunting, you're looking for a way to find a weakness by fucking with someone's head. I like to see the aggressor press forward and see the best of the people instead of constantly trying to find some kind of taunt and then look for an opening. I don't like that shit at all. At Floyd Mayweather backing up style, looking for a hole that you can find, whereas the other person's just pressing forward. I like to see two people press forward and just throw down. Now when Brian Stann and Vanderlei Silva both pressed forward and neither one of them went back down, neither one of them were going backwards, that was one of the best fights of all time.
So what did you think? Did you think that was the referee's fault when he got kneed? Did you think Bisping, being a veteran, should have never looked the other way? Do you think Silva was dirty? He saw him look the other way, but the referee didn't say anything. It is a fight. What did you think? I mean, what was going through your mind?
Bad referee.
So you blame the referee?
I do. I blame the referee. Okay.
How did you feel about Bisping turning his head like that? Do you think he did that was a rookie move?
Kind of, but you know what? He was just trying to get his mouthpiece, and the ref should have been able to do his job. Herb Dean is a good ref. I do like Herb Dean, and I think that Herb Dean messed up, and I think that whole knee should be taken out of context.
How I feel is I saw Silva. I know Silva was getting aggressive at that point. Do I think Silva saw the mouthpiece and all that? I don't know if he did because, when you're in the moment of a fight, you don't know what's going on, especially if the referee didn't do a break in action. He might have felt like, wow, Bisping is giving me one hell of a fight. I got this opportunity right now, and I better go for it. But I did see a knee that looked a little bit low before he went for the high knee.
That was his whole style, though, Don. That was his whole style. Whereas, I'm going to look for a hole. I'm going to look for an opening. I'm going to look for an advantage right here. I'm going to taunt you. And you know what? He found an opening.
I mean, in terms of the taunt, look at Bisping's bloody face right here, Razorstein. Look at that. That knee split his face open. It split his nose open. I mean, Bisping had a lot of heart. Well, you know what? Silva is coming off of a steroid scandal. Bisping said he stuck needles up his asshole. Okay, Silva knocked out by Chris Weidman. Silva leg split. Silva 40 years old, a year off a suspension. He didn't look as sharp as before. He looked a little bit slow. When he closed the distance, he wasn't able to let off his combination. Bisping fighting off the back foot was able to let off his combination, back Silva against the cage. Silva was not aggressive, and I think the reason why he wasn't so much aggressive is because I think Silva was burnt out, but he played it off really well. He is a veteran fighter. He is a former champion. What I say is I gotta agree with you, Razorstein. The referee had to take control. If he had the mouthpiece in his hand, he should have did a break in action and allow Bisping to put that back in. But for some reason, he felt that maybe Silva was aggressive at that point and was able to uh, uh, was aggressive, so he didn't want to stop. But the problem I have with that was when he got the knee, it would appear that it was over, because the referee didn't even step in, and then when the horn sounded, Silva believed that it was over because the way that Bisping crumpled down, it looked like he was knocked out.
Yeah.
EPA says air emissions are down since 1970.
So
while the economy, population, and energy use increase.
I feel that there should be a rematch.
Yeah, that'd be good.
I'm not taking anything from Bisping. I'm not taking anything from Bisping. I want to be clear. Bisping won the fight. But I feel Silva deserves a rematch because it was a lot of controversy. And some people can say that Silva was robbed.
You can argue it. I'm not saying you can't argue it, but you're definitely going to argue this. Some people are going to get pissed that I'm saying that you can argue it. It's like, oh, it's definite. No, you can argue this. The thing is this. You have to be the aggressor. And you know what? I don't want this ending up like boxing where you have, a fighter who's constantly going back and trying to look for openings and run away and make a shot. And then all of a sudden you have these long fucking slow decisions. And it's bullshit. I hate that. I want to see two people go to war in a cage. I don't want to see someone trying to look for an opening and taunt the person and maybe get a shot here or there. At least Anderson does have knockout power. But I don't want to see that anymore. I want to see the fight go to the person who's aggressive, pressing forward. I don't want to see it end up like boxing, where you have Floyd Mayweather, who just runs around the whole entire time, avoiding major shots, and just pops off a couple shots and runs away and tries to get a close decision. That's bullshit. I hate that, and the fans hate that too.
And then to piggyback off what you're saying, and I like boxing. I cover boxing on Into the Arena, and you damn well know that, Tommy, and I know you are deliberately trying to provoke the boxing fans who may click on this video. But listen,
I did like boxing. I liked boxing in the 80s. Now I'm pissed.
Well, you might need to check out a couple of things. They got some good stuff going on, but back to this. Silva got dropped. Silva was against the case. Silva took combination. Silva had difficulty getting in. The biggest thing that he did was that knee, and that came with controversy. And I'm saying that Bisping won. I'm saying you can argue that Silva was robbed. I'm basically saying I can see both sides of the spectrum. I agree with you, Razorstein. And the fifth round was the best, but then that's why Dana White always says, even though Dana White says he thought Silva won, but let's go back with Silva, what Dana White always says. What is that, Razorstein? Don't leave it in the hands of the judges.
I know. Don't do that shit.
Look at this.
Go all out.
Let's go to this right now, Razorstein, since we got you. I don't know. This might be the few times that you may agree with this man. And the man that we got to bring up is John Bones Jones. He says Anderson Silva would have beaten Michael Bisping if he stayed aggressive.
Yeah, but you also got to think about this, man. I hate to say it, but you're fighting Michael Bisping in London. You're fighting Michael Bisping in London, and you should know in the back of your mind, you know what? I got to beat Michael Bisping in fucking London. I can't get a fucking close decision. I'm not going to work on trying to get a close decision. I got to go all out. I got to beat Michael Bisping. I got to fucking knock him out.
Maybe Maybe Silva energy level went down after he thought he knocked him out.
He thought he knocked him out, and his energy level went down, and Michael Bisping was kneeing the face and out on the ground. Nah.
After that, because there was a long break between the belt in the third to fourth round.
Anderson paced himself way too much.
He might have was tired. He'd been out of the game for a long time, 40 years old, leg snap.
He didn't look exhausted at the end of the fight. He looked like he paced himself throughout the whole fight.
He was exhausted to me at the end of the fight, Razorstein. He didn't. after he did what he did in the 5th round toward the end, he didn't look like he could push forward.
He looked like he was pacing himself way too much. And Bisping wasn't. And Bisping was trying to finish a fight.
Do you want to see a rematch?
Yeah, I would like to see a rematch.
I would too. So you officially feel Michael Bisping won the fight, no robbery.
Yep.
I officially feel Bisping won the fight, but I can can understand.
I can understand.
Yeah. That's the same way I feel. Rematch, Razor Stein rematch, and it's going to sell big because Dana White said he didn't believe in. Dana White's a promoter. I would say I didn't believe too if I want a rematch out of it, right? Go back to O2 London Arena. It's going to sell more than it did before.
You know what the crazy thing is? Dana White is like a Floyd Mayweather fan. Like, he likes his style of fighting, which fucking confuses me. Like, why do you like someone who runs away? And like, he likes to see, someone be a matador. And there's a lot of fans out there who like to see someone be a matador. You know what I mean? The other person's swinging away, and then all of a sudden you slip by and you punch him in the face. And some people find that really entertaining.
Dana White's a boxing fan. We're going to end with this. We got 1 minute left. I have to watch it again. UFC President Dana White said on UFC Fight Night 84 post-fight show on UFC Fight Pass, there was so much craziness going on here after the flying knee. But I believe I had it even going into the 5th. And whoever wins the 5th round won the fight. I thought that Silva won by the same score. I had the same score, but had it the other way. Maybe that knee, Razor Stein, if you count that, can be a 10-8 round, even a 10-7, because he was out. I mean, he was down. I
know.
I think we agree. We believe that Bisping won, but we can understand if Silva was robbed. If Silva felt he won the fight, that's why we need a rematch. That's why we're having this conversation. That's why you're here. 30 seconds.
You ever see something like dismissed out of court?
Last 30 seconds.
They say, okay, we're going to dismiss this. You know what I mean? And the police find something on you. But unfortunately, they searched the car wrong and they did an illegal search. And they're like, oh, we got to dismiss this evidence. That's how I feel about that knee. Just like a court of law. Completely dismissed.
Enter the arena uncut. Tommy Razor Stein back in South Korea. The Don Juan Banks. Peace.
Peace out.